Now you've got a new song you want to play live here today.
Yes,
Okay.
hopefully. It's an Outlaw song.
Okay. What's the name of the song?
The Great Northfield Raid. I guess I'll call it that because I haven't really thought of a name for it. But
So it's still
put
kind
on
of
the
a work in
spot.
progress, but
The song is done.
well, I thought that was
The
safe to
name
ask you
is
the name of it, and maybe not. We'll just what's it kind of? How long ago did you write it? How did it come about? What's the process behind it?
Actually, I did about a year's worth of research on trying to figure out about that. It's about the Northfield, Minnesota raid when Jesse James and Frank James and the Youngers got together and decided to rob the Northfield Bank.
Okay.
They originally were not going to rob the Northfield Bank. They were going to rob a bank in Mankato because the bank was owned by this northern officer, and they hated him. He was known as the Butcher or something like that. But that got tossed out of the picture, so they decided to rob the Northfield Bank, and they thought it'd be easy, but it was not. That's where the James and Younger gang met its demise.
Okay. So it's kind of a historical ballad type, not ballad like slow song. But
No, but
ballad like story song.
Yeah, and I tried to stay as historically accurate as possible, remembering who shot who and the chronological order in which everything happened.
Okay. You said you've got like 10 verses for this. Are we going to hear all? Let's.
I don't know how many. I never counted them, but Megan
it's
said
a lot.
she
Yeah.
thinks there's a few on there.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's get you set up here and let's hear it here.
All right.
That's a beautiful guitar, Catfish. How long have you had that?
Oh, I think I got this in '97. I got this one in '97, I believe it was. It's a cross between a Dobro and a National, actually. It's called a Swamp Box, and I think they made only 4 of these when Gibson bought out OMI. I think they've got number 1. Keith Richards, I believe, has number 2. I could be wrong on this, but when I did Prairie Home Companion, Cindy Cashdollar said she was pretty sure she saw Sonny Landreth with one. So his must be number 3. This is number 4.
Wow.
And the serial number on this is the 4th of July, 96.
Sweet. I'll have Megan snapping some pictures here, so we'll get a close up of that guitar and throw it up on our website so everyone can see it. So.
It's a sweetie.
Oh yeah, move my loud orange sweater. Just toss it wherever here. Okay. Well, we're still rolling here. Do you wanna? This is the song with no name.
Yeah.
The James Gang.
All right, let's give her a try.
All right. Max Sync Radio.
I'll tell you all a story of Frank and Jesse James when they teamed up with the younger boys to make the Northfield raid. Rode out from Missouri in a 476. They's gonna rob the Northfield Bank, it'd be sure and quick. They's gonna rob the Northfield Bank, it'd be sure and quick. They all rode up to Northfield, Cone Chadwell cased the bank, and the other boys hid out of town with Frank and Jesse James. They's all drinking whiskey, talking how it'd be. Frank said the time and place was right, and they all agreed. Frank said the time and place was right, and they all agreed. Saddled up next morning, all rode into town. Squareheads never gave a thought to robbery going down. Jesse, Bob, and Charlie strolled over to JG's, ordered ham and eggs, ate and took their ease. They ordered ham and eggs and then they ate and took their ease. It was 2 in the afternoon, they rushed into the bank. Throw up your hands as they drew his pistols, hollered Jesse James. Haywood, he ran for the vault. Charlie got there first. It was then when things went south, only to get worse. It was then when things went south, only to get worse. Bob Younger told them clerks better get down on their knees, and he grabbed the money from the till without a by your leave. Bunker made a wild dash, jumped from the floor. Charlie fired 2 quick shots and winged him at the door. Charlie fired 2 quick shots and winged him at the door. Well, they teamed up with the Younger boys to make the Northfield raid. The other 5 had guns a-blazing in a wild death race. Stacy saw Clell Miller, shot him in the face. The shot wasn't fatal, Stacy's heart now filled with dread. Henry Wheeler took better aim and shot Clell Miller dead. Henry Wheeler took better aim and shot Clell Miller dead. Cole Younger galloped up to Miller, but it was too late. He grabbed his pistols and his belt, sped off to meet his fate. Jesse, Bob, and Charlie go out for the door. Jesse turned to Wilcox, blew his brains out on the floor. Jesse turned to Wilcox, blew his brains out on the floor. Teamed up with the Younger boys to make the Northfield raid. Bob Younger bumped from his horse and shot at Manning High. Henry Wheeler fired back and got Bob in the thigh. Bob limped out into the street, screamed, "Cole, don't leave, I'm shot." Cole raced his horse on back to save his brother Bob. Cole raced his horse on back to save his brother Bob. The gang was shot to pieces, posses on their tail. Frank and Jesse left them boys, hit the homebound trail. The Youngers all got caught, nothing had been gained. Only 2 that made it home were Frank and Jesse James. Only 2 that made it home were Frank and Jesse James. Teamed up with the Younger boys to make the Northfield raid. The only 2 that made it home were Frank and Jesse James. Only 2 that made it home were Frank and Jesse James.
Thank you.
It's a little hard to remember who shot who when.
Yeah.